All right, what if we could empower an entire sector to feel free to innovate? So I'm here today to talk about the Techniculture Experiment. The Cultural Alliance is a member service organization, and we serve the arts and culture sector in the Philly region. Like many nonprofits, we wear a lot of hats. We're advocates, researchers, community activists, but we also identify ourselves as a convener. And it's under that umbrella that the Techniculture Experiment was conceived. So we know two things for sure at the Cultural Alliance. There we go. We are not tech experts, all right? This picture reflects that. Second, as we shaped this initiative, we needed to be okay with the unknown. So throughout our 40-plus years, the Cultural Alliance has always carefully calculated our decisions. We are a data-driven organization. But in this case, experimentation was the name of the game. So our first step was to bring in a group of brilliant thought leaders from both the cultural and tech sectors to lean on and to help us shape our ideas, our Fearless Advisory Committee. And it was with their guidance and leadership that we launched the original Techniculture event that took place in 2015 during Philly Tech Week. The event was a showcase celebrating artistic and business collaborations between artists, organizations, and technologists. Following the event and with feedback from attendees, it was clear that though the cultural nonprofit was ready to innovate, the biggest obstacle wasn't always funding. Shock, right? So for many, it was not knowing even where to begin or the right questions to ask, literally the discovery phase. We also found that the tech community really wanted to be engaged with arts and culture, and they wanted to be brought in during that discovery phase. And so with this understanding and with the guidance and expertise of our committee, we devised the Techniculture Innovation Residency Award. This was a micro-residency program where 3 cultural nonprofit organizations working on 3 very different projects would be matched with the technologists to evaluate their digital needs and develop a plan. This award was a great opportunity for organizations with the will and passion to innovate, but didn't have the capacity or resources to even know the first step. At the end of the residency, we convened our committee for a debrief, and I was gushing over some of the most impactful outcomes, and a committee member said to me, "You realize we're not at all talking about technology." And it was true. Through managing the Techniculture Initiative, the Cultural Alliance learned the necessity of experimentation and in taking risks. It's a balancing act. And although ambiguity and risk are not easy for us as an organization, we found that sometimes they're a requirement for growth. Now, there are many barriers that nonprofits face around innovation, and we've learned through Techniculture that both managing it and through its participants, that many have nothing to do with technology. So we saw 5 main takeaways from the program. First, lean on your partners and reach outside of your network. Our program would not have launched if it weren't for the committee that we relied on and still rely on so heavily. Second, one of our committee members drew this great graph for me in my journal. It shows the path of engaging with technology and ranged from innovators to laggers. And the sweet spot is right there between early adopters and early majority. That's a place where an organization is ripe to be open to new technologies and to innovate. Third, we learned that collaborating is a skill unto itself. There will be bumps in the road. You have to work at it like any relationship, and sometimes you have to completely rework it. Fourth, use design thinking and prototyping. It doesn't have to be pretty, and it doesn't have to use tech. Our micro-residencies included a half-day design thinking workshop where organizations were pushed to prototype and challenge their assumptions about their project. Fifth, and this is definitely the hardest, you have to be okay with failing. This makes me laugh because of my situation right now, but because of the way nonprofits are structured, we are terrified of failing because there are so many very scary and real implications. But if we want to be able to grow and innovate, we have to make space for that. And to wrap up, I want to read a quote from one of the amazing artistic directors of one of the organizations who participated in the residency. She said that, "Recently I saw a billboard saying, 'You're an artist. There is no failure. You've already succeeded.' And I was thinking about that because during the project, we were having some problems with our technology. And my collaborator came to me and said, 'Listen, it doesn't matter if we fail because we're trying something innovative here. And failure is a part of that. The audience will get that because they're a part of it too.'" And that is what it's all about, engaging in a foundation of organizational strength and artistic confidence while embracing experimentation in an effort to grow and innovate. Thank you.